Well, hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So in very few minutes, it's gonna start their live stream. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna restream it the entire duration because the second half of it is just cringe with absolutely zero value. And I have obviously, stuff to do, videos to make. But for the first hour or so, we can watch what Kabam has in store for us. If there is interesting information coming in the second half, then we'll watch that too. And meanwhile, we can say hello to Mando and everybody else that we have right here already waiting for us.
Hello, sexies.
We have the technology.
You have the
Pull up
power.
the chat names up on screen. So welcome.
So since I can't listen to your audio, I have the their stream up also for me, and that way I can still. But I have it in like a small window over your window, like off to the side, so I can watch the chat and hear you in Discord, and then watch the stream too.
Well, whatever works for you.
Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. Hey, however long you end up doing. Yeah, I wonder if we'll see chicken legs again, Ethel.
Kabam Jack shorts.
Kabam, chicken leg jacks.
Some people are really mad at me that I commented about it.
Why? It was like hard not to. It
Yeah,
was
exactly.
like
That's what I
it was
thought.
bright as day. Yeah.
But because I mentioned it in the video, apparently, and as well. Anyways, let's see what's happening here.
Okay, so I told KT already.
Battlegrounds and incursions.
Yeah. Incursions desperately needs it. Oh, here we go.
I think I have an echo from you.
Oh, hold on. That's yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe no, that's fine. Can you guys? I think it could be fine.
Your community managers here on MCOC, and I'm excited to welcome each and every one of you back here for another edition of what we got going on in the community. Hold on.
Fine now?
Seeing issues with the audio.
Yeah, is it okay, guys?
I see echoing.
Oh, it was echoing on their end.
How about now? Can anybody
now
hear
I was wondering. I was like, wait, that's not me. That's
normal.
them.
Normal echo. Better? I'm seeing very
They
better.
were using the
better.
microphone in the studio,
Cool.
not
Hey,
his
let's go
lapel
back.
mic.
Give me another intro. Can I take it again? Let me go again. I'll be right back.
Ah.
Jesus Christ. Seriously, they're gonna redo it again just because they're...
Hello, summoners, and welcome for the first time to another official MCOC live stream. We are coming to you live here on twitch.tv/Kabam
is the volume
from Kabam
now
Studios in Vancouver, BC, Canada.
Yeah,
my name is Jax. I'm one of your community managers here in the contest. I'm excited to welcome you all back for the first time.
No, Jackson wishes he looked like KT.
Edition of what we got going on in the contest. We're going to be talking a lot about very, very cool things here. So I just want to say hello to some of our new time chatters, our first time chatters. If you're new here, please sound off in the chat. We love welcoming in new people. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I see Jathuk, first time chatter, welcome on in. I'm also seeing returning viewer, returning summoner, Anime Catwoman, welcome back. Great to see familiar names as well. Fantastic. Thank you to everybody for being here.
Alistair KT for
we got
sure.
Portugal, India. I saw Germany, South Africa. Absolutely
Well,
awesome.
I was here
Amjad,
first.
welcome. First time chatter.
Yep.
Rez Q304. Hello, hello, hello. Great to have you all here, Summoners. Again, I'm Jax, and I'm just stoked to have you. So let's see what do we got going on today. Let's go.
Look what shirt he's wearing, by the way.
First and foremost, there is one rule,
Yeah,
and one
this-
rule only. It encapsulates almost everything that we need here, and that rule is
KT?
don't be
Yeah.
a jerk.
Did you
This
notice
is
his
a
shirt?
live stream about a video game.
His shirt?
We like that
Oh.
video game, and I
about
understand
it?
that
It's
that
Captain
passion
Britain.
can boil
Oh,
up.
yeah.
But let's be nice to
It's
each
the
other.
Braddock.
Everyone
Remember
who
it
is
leaked?
here
Yeah, yeah,
wants
yeah.
to have a good time.
Pretty
This
sure
stream
that's
is
a
informative. We're going to
tongue-in-cheek,
share a lot of really interesting information,
confirmation.
but it's
I don't
also
think
entertainment.
so. I don't think that's clever.
Because
I think it's
I
still
won't
gonna
let
be
it
Vox
not be.
trolling.
And we're here to have a
gonna be
good
who?
time. Let's
Vox.
just embrace that for
Oh,
everybody.
you think it's a box?
That's the only rule. We
Is it
do
ties
have
with
mods.
fucking
They
mouth?
are in the chat. They are watching.
Yeah, I guess so.
Again, not a threat, but
But here
they
we
are
are.
watching. They
Now,
are
are
keeping
the
the
sound
peace. Please
volumes
respect the
fine now,
mods.
by the way? Just
And
to
if you
check.
get out of
Can you
if you
hear
get out
me
of hand,
a bit over
they're gonna boot
and
you.
louder than everybody
Um,
else? Can you hear Mando?
that's just how it
Fine,
goes here. So
and,
please,
Yeah.
be on your best
Yeah,
behavior. We're all
someone
here
said
to have
just
a
fine a
great
second ago. I
time.
think it should be.
Let's just enjoy it. Let's enjoy each
They're
other,
gonna
enjoy
announce 8
ourselves.
stars? No. I
It's
think
going to
that
be fun.
they're
All right,
probably
let's talk
surprised
about it.
7
What are we doing
stars
today? What are we
launching went over
talking
better
about?
than they thought it was going to
We've
be.
got July's content. We're going to be talking about the 2 new champions coming to the contest.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the side quest and event quest and what those look like. Then we're going to be moving into a little something. I want to give you
I
guys
like
a little
how
knowledge
side
ahead of
quest
time here.
rewards
Something that I'm calling the
20%
Super Mega
of tier
Battle Pass. That's
6cc
not what it's called,
July
but
4th
more
sales.
on that soon.
50 tier
We're also going to be
6cc.
talking to 2 members. We're going to have 2 guests at the same time. First time in stream history. But we're going to be
tradition.
talking to 2 members of what we refer to as our multiplayer
hope they do
stream.
some more
They are
buffs. They
going
need
to be
to.
talking to us about what's coming to Alliance War, Alliance Quest, Incursions, and Battlegrounds modes, what they have planned for maybe the next 4 to 6 months. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take another little peek at Gladiator.
Always
We
good to
got
hear
the
they're gonna
art
keep
team
updating
to send
Battlegrounds.
us some work in progress
6
stuff
months,
and
though.
show off a little bit of the
Shut up,
tools
just do it.
that they were working with.
Yeah, I know.
Basically to make Gladiator.
How long, you know?
And I saw someone saying that they hoped they would see Gladiator's kit today. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be, because Gladiator's not for
not.
another couple of months, that information actually isn't locked in until
I would
close to
imagine
that
he's
date.
gonna be in
So today we're
September.
going to be taking a look at the work in progress. Next month, I believe we're going to be taking a look at the animations, and then we'll look at the kit
1 second, guys.
and talk to one of the developers who
Need to
worked
grab my
on it
notepad.
the month that Gladiator is set to release into the contest. Hold on, I just want to call it out. Haru Univ says, your beard looks amazing. What's your secret? Thanks. I just wanted to say thank you. I use beard oils. It's really important. And then also, I have a complete disregard for how I
agree,
look
Bill.
visually. So when it
People
gets
complain,
out of
but they always
control,
buy the deals.
that's how it is. Enough about me. We're going to be playing some games
are.
on stream. It's one of my
We'll be taking
favorite
some
things to do
notes.
with you all. We're going to be playing with our guests. You're going to lend them a hand here in the chat
Oh,
as
that's
well,
right. They're gonna do
Summoners.
the $10
We're
battle
going to be
pass,
playing a
I
game
bet.
of
You're
20
right,
questions
Cameron.
using champions from the contest. And it's going to be very, very fun. And then we're going to be doing a giveaway. What would a live stream be without a giveaway? We are going to tell you how to enter that
Bit my
giveaway
damn
at the
cheek,
end of
and
the
it
stream.
still hurts.
So don't
I keep
sweat
having to put
on
medicine
that.
on it.
When the time comes, you will have all the information you need. That being
Imagine
said, that
I do.
giveaway will be here on twitch.tv/Kabam. If
probably
you are
will not
watching
stick
on
around
YouTube,
for
hey,
that whole
great to see
game
you.
part.
If you want to
No,
enter
I don't
into
think,
that
yeah, it's
giveaway,
probably
please
not a
come
good idea.
over
Unless
to
you wanted to just do it, like,
twitch.tv/Kabam.
go into a
That's where
stream,
the
do some
giveaway is going to
Battlegrounds.
happen. Drop a follow, make a really quick account. It's
No,
it
'cause I
takes
don't have
almost
much
no
time
time at
after
all,
this to
and
make
that'll
some
get you
videos.
entered into it.
Oh,
What
that's
are we
right. You
giving
gotta
away?
make videos.
We're going to be giving away.
He's too loud, I
We
can't
heard
hear
the
Mando.
clamoring.
Who's
We
too loud?
knew everybody was champing at the
Oh.
bit for this one. We're giving away a 6-star
Should be better, Armando, now.
relic crystal
Okay.
and 5 5-star
I didn't know if I
relic
needed to talk
crystals. We'll
louder.
talk more about why you
No,
should be
no.
more excited
Just
about that than you are
Juggling like 4 different volume
when the
levels.
time
Yeah,
comes.
yeah, I
so don't
know you
worry
are.
about
'Cause I need to
that
juggle
just yet.
my
All right,
volume,
let's dive in here.
volume one
We're
You know
going
what
to
I need-
dive
audio input
right
capture on OBS,
to
your
what's going
individual
on in
audio
July.
input capture. and
We're going
there's-
to take a look at
Yeah.
our event quest to start here. So, our event quest is.
But as long as
called
yeah, you
Ties
guys
That
do give me the
Bind.
feedback, by the
And
way.
here's your narrative
on whether
wrapper.
it's
Silk
one
has
of us
swung
allowed
into the
or-
contest to help out some
I
of
think
her
Kindred looks pretty
wall-crawling
cool.
friends
Oh, yeah.
before they start
Looks
an
like,
all-out civil war.
eye bombs and
She has a
mojos
plan. She
and
has
like
the summoner
stepbrother,
by her
you know?
side,
Like
but
three siblings.
Yeah, I
she
think
also seems
I
to
think
have
his
a
head kind
shadowy
of looks a
force
little
that is
bit Green
working against
Goblin
her.
and
Will the
Hobgoblin
extra
mixed with
assistance
like a
of
mummy.
2 multiversal Peter Parkers be enough to help? Or Is
We
this
don't need more
one
Peter Parkers.
sticky situation too many for the Battlegrounds spider friends? Find out in Ties That Bind. Look at that art. Oh my goodness. Kindred is terrifying.
What?
We're going to talk a little
now
bit
I'm
more
too
about
loud.
that in a minute. Man, Kindred.
Whose sound is a bit below mine?
He's quite the addition
No,
to
loud.
the
I'm
contest.
too loud.
My goodness.
They said.
All right, let's
Oh,
dive
now
into
wait,
our
who's too
side
low?
quest here. Into the Inferno.
They need to update Glory.
Mephisto has sent clones of Kindred
and up the
attack the
cap.
Battle Realm in an attempt
Hey,
to
let me
draw
know
out
now.
Hercules and claim their souls.
Yeah.
Silk, with
All
the
right,
help
let
of
us know how the
Spider-Man
balance
Pretty
is.
low.
Supreme,
Mine does. Okay, so I
has
turned down
attempted to track
both
down
Katie and Jax
Mephisto
a bit.
and take the fight to him by creating portals to Hades, the pocket dimension where Mephisto resides. Harvest chaotic dimensional
Yeah,
energy
whatever champions
to
release
power
first, I
these
think it's going to be in the
portals
next feature.
by defeating the dimensional entities of the contest
Second one
and
will.
gain entry to Hades, vanquish any infernal beings found within, and take back Mephisto's stolen goods as a reward.
That's fine.
Be wary, though,
Perfect.
as these portals are unpredictable
Okay, good.
and it's uncertain
Thank you all.
where they'll land you. All right. Now, those keen of you who read between the lines in that description, I want to tell you what this is, and I want to tell you, again, why you should be more excited about it than you are. Who said it? Right there. BR Flickinger says, that sounds like riffs. It is, but you should be more excited about it. We've listened to a number of the concerns, the complaints, the sentiment around riffs, and we've made some really important adjustments. First, we've taken
What have you done?
the most valuable rewards, and those are no longer path rewards. Those are going to be available in solo objectives. Additionally, we are giving you a month-long solo event that will allow you to earn items to specifically target which path you land on. So if you want that 1% path, you can dive in and get it controlled. We're basically giving you guys more control over what you receive because we understand that the randomness, the RNG became a point of frustration.
Then why do this
So
in the first
additionally,
place?
Yeah, that's what I was about to think. I was like, why even do riffs
you will
then?
receive 2 reward selectors and will allow you to pick from a number of rewards
When
so
is
you
this
can
live? Next
basically
Wednesday?
cater the rewards to what you need in your account. So, yes,
you're
it's
gonna
riff,
still.
and yes, I understand
You're not gonna
the
do it live,
sentiment
are
around
you?
it, but we're listening. We understand the frustration, and we'll have more information
that's what I
about
was
that
thinking,
posted
too.
in the forums, probably in the middle of this stream. I'll take a second and post it for you around 50 minutes from now, if I remember. Someone remind me in the chat at 10 o'clock on the dot. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so
Blizzard says it great. You got to do more content to be able to do content you actually want. What a novel idea.
Of course, you heard about them for the first time yesterday. There's no way you knew about these ahead of time, because how would you? People are leaking information. No. Hey, if you're out there and you're leaking information, please stop. It's just not fun anymore.
Oh, shut up.
That's
it
fun
helps
for
your
them.
game.
It's fun for me. I gladly get more teasers or leaks
maybe
and
cut
all
it
that
out.
other
We
stuff.
want to be able to be here and be excited
Here's what
with
I don't
everyone and
understand.
celebrate these
It
things
hypes it
together.
up more than they
Exactly.
do.
I saw
Their
Reddit in the
releases are
forums today
shit.
about,
Like when they
hey,
decide to
what's
do
the
it, they're
It's
way
damage
just
too
not
about
long.
these
fun. It's like
leakers?
fun for who?
We're
Maybe not
looking
for
into
them.
it,
For
so
me, like I think it's
maybe
fun.
stop before we.
I mean,
look
once the
forward to
leakers
leaks. I
know.
enjoy
All right,
leaks.
Kindred is here.
Yeah, once the
Kindred
leakers
is
know,
creepy,
why-
crawly, and kind of gross.
Why won't they release
but
it?
we got a video to let you know. It's a little snippet from our deep dives that will be available on our official YouTube page in the next through the weekend here. So make sure to go check those out. But we're going to show you the ideal rotation of what Kindred is available, or sorry, what Kindred is
that whole
able
threaten to nerf
accomplish.
Hercules if there
We're
were
gonna give
leaks
you a
was the
little sneak
stupid
peek
thing.
right now.
Can somebody
To
record
begin,
this?
strike the opponent to build your infestation charges. Make sure to attack with your centipede so your atrophy stays maxed out at 3 stacks to control your opponent's buffs. Now, once you've reached about 50 charges, perform a heavy attack to trigger Dread Aura and launch your Special 2 to trigger Nightmare Outbreak and steal your opponent's power while bursting them down with instant degen. From here, immediately launch your Special 1 to inflict your degen debuff and lock in your degen passives. The key here is to stay aggressive. If the fight's almost over, launch another Special 1. But if it's a longer fight, build back above a Special 2, then perform your heavy attack when Nightmare Outbreak expires and launch to set your opponent spiraling back into a brand new nightmare. Keep in mind, as a Mystic champion, Kindred benefits very highly from the Mystic Dispersion mastery, allowing them to punish high buff matchups and repeatedly launch special attacks to keep their Nightmare paused and have the opponent begging for mercy. Oh yeah.
Did you see that, KT?
And if things go south, don't worry.
He was at a special
Because
3,
the
but he was able to
fight's
throw a
not
special
over.
2.
Yeah.
Until Kindred says the fight is over. Now, let's check out some of their notable synergies.
And we're back. That's your first look at Kindred and what they are capable of. Shout out to Harley Quinn 0410 in chat saying he looks so good. Kindred looks very, very cool. Sound off in chat if you are someone who wants to add Kindred to your roster.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt,
I'm
but
excited
I just
because
noticed
I like
that.
creepy crawly stuff. I love Halloween.
Well, I mean,
October's my
we have
favorite
East
month.
Ant-Man,
I
that's-
like that we get
Kindred's
creepy
probably
crawly
gonna
Yeah, but that's
stuff
what-
outside of October.
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm saying. I was
goodness,
pointing
is
out
Kindred
that
ever
looks like we're finally
creepy.
getting another champion that can do that.
We
Well,
talked
finally,
to the man, the
previous
myth, the
one was like 2
legend,
months ago.
Karate Mike, who handles a lot of our deep dive things.
Yeah,
and I
but-
said, hey,
I
how
guess
can
so.
we tell people what's exciting about Kindred? And we chatted a little bit, and now I have this for you. What makes them exciting? What makes them unique? Bugs, but also atrophy. They can pretty much reduce the opponent's buff duration by 90% throughout the entire fight, which is particularly powerful
Yeah, it looks
when
like a gallon
combined
counter, Aston.
with Mystic Dispersion. Also really love his gotcha sig ability where he roots you before getting knocked out, making them a wicked defender.
Oh, that's cool.
They will likely be seen more on defense than on attack, but with the reduced buff duration is something that we haven't seen since Mojo was released,
No,
and it's
since
definitely an
Absol.
interesting way of countering cosmic champions that cannot be nullified, neutralized, etc. We
Defender.
definitely see them thriving in Battlegrounds,
Yeah.
Alliance War defense, and they are a very effective counter to Gallon, who has been very relevant and does not really have a strong
Because
He doesn't
most
have a
bots
counter.
Kindred or Kabam.
So look forward to that in Kindred.
Yeah.
Kindred is a very
But yeah,
cool.
so Kindred's going to be primarily
yes,
defend
90%
another
is
Mystic
crazy.
Defender.
Rip Monkey. I
Yeah,
agree.
definitely.
It's
Like,
substantial. I'm
between
looking
Dragon,
forward
Madman,
to it.
Dog, Sasquatch,
Now, if you were
Strength,
here in the last stream we did a
Mojo's
few
like,
weeks
yeah.
how
ago,
many
we played a
fucking
Guess That
Mystics
Champ,
did he-
where my mother described this champion as
All of
a
them.
dentist who was
Mystic's my
fighting
favorite class.
halitosis. I told you that that would not be helpful to you, that that would absolutely be misleading. I know some people concluded based on the silhouette, good, because my goodness, were you ever led astray. All right, let's talk about the second champion coming
I don't know
to
why
the
he said the
contest this
halitosis
month.
comment.
It is indeed Silk. Silk is awesome. Silk is very cool. It's been a minute since we've had a spider person come to the contest. I believe Spider-Man Supreme would have been our last. And hey, we started some conversations about this yesterday. Not just another spider person. Some very, very, very cool things here and a very
just
unique
another
character. So we're going to show you
Spider-Person.
another
She's
snippet
literally
from our
just a
deep
spider
dive.
person.
Let's take a look right now.
He's literally Peter Parker as a female.
Yeah.
To begin, strike the opponent
And her
and
webs
chain
come
your
out of
heavy
her
attack
fingers.
at the end of your combos. Continue doing so while you build up to your special 3. Feel free to play a little risky while
she
your
can
Silk
stun
Sense is active,
passively and
since you
combo
have a
with a heavy.
100% chance to evade all special attacks. Once you reach your special
cool.
3, combo into a heavy to gain your first Fury passive, but then cancel into your special and prepare to launch your
She has
assault.
special 3
At the end of the
I'm
attack,
thankful with it
rush
already.
in and
Like,
perform a
Yeah.
5-hit combo, followed by a 4-hit combo. Now, if you have a relic available, this is the time to perform a heavy attack and cancel into your striker to gain your second
They're
Fury
saying
while
Hulk is the
keeping all of
best.
your effects active. Finish off your combo string with one more 4-hit combo and a final heavy and cancel into your special 1 for some monstrous burst
I
damage.
do like the combo ending heavy
Now,
stuns.
let's check out some of her notable synergies.
I don't like the level 3 thing.
And that's your
Level
deep
3 is
dive
stupid, I
snippet
agree.
about Silk. Another very, very cool champion
Any
coming to the
champion
one
that
I
relies
love
on level
is-
in
3 on
July.
the base loop
Very excited
without
for
massive
it.
power
Hope you guys
gain.
enjoyed that look. If you want to check out the full deep dives, they will be uploaded to our official
I mean, I
Marvel
love
Contest of
Titania, though, but
Champions
yeah, I know what you
YouTube
mean.
channel this weekend. There's a ton of work that goes into them, and they are incredibly informative. I'm learning champions at a very slow pace. We talked about this.
Yeah,
if I
she may
wanted
be
to
in
learn one
mid-science.
a
We'll see
day,
how she is when
it would
she's
take me
released.
over a year of work days trying to learn every champion. So shout out to all the work that goes into those. Definitely check them out this
Or
weekend.
you could have just been playing from the beginning and then you know.
Memento SXE. I don't know if that's straight edge, but if so, good for you. Hot take, give me all the spider people. And oh my goodness, do I ever agree with you?
yeah.
I campaigned for Spider-Punk, and everyone said
really
that was
hope the
stupid,
World 3 isn't the master
and he
of that.
didn't win, and I was upset.
Yeah.
And then the movie came out, and everyone was like, Spider-Punk's awesome. And I was like, oh my goodness. So all the
Yeah, they
Spider
shouldn't
people.
have done
All right,
the
what
poll
makes
until after the movie
Silk
then.
unique? Huge combo strings. She's super fun with a relic attached. She's all about these huge
Why so many
combos.
spiders in the
So
game?
you really
Because
wanna utilize
Spider-Man
that
is
relic,
very
that
popular
striker to hit
to
her 3
normies.
Furies and then smash the opponent with a huge
Spider-Man's like the
burst
biggest model
off
character.
of her
That
SP1.
they just refuse to
Silk
actually
is
make
going
OG
to be
Spider-Man
a
good.
strong Rintra counter.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Reduced
not horrible
rupture
now, but
duration,
yeah, I know.
Along with easy knockdowns and a slow
He's not
debuff
like
from her
Deadpool
Sig ability that
X-Force
cuts
bad.
off his regeneration. Bye, Rintra.
Yeah,
And
they
then
showed
where do we see them
Kindred
really
already,
succeeding?
and
Where do we see Silk's utility most? Definitely going to be an effective champion in Battlegrounds.
Yes, Anka, they
She's
showed
a
Kindred
very
already.
efficient get to SP3 and win champion. Pop a relic on her, learn her combo chain, and enjoy the bursts. Thank you, Karate Michael. I appreciate it. So let me know, are you guys hyped for Silk? Sound off in chat if you're looking forward to adding Silk to your roster this month. Okay, let's move on to the next segment.
I'm more excited
in
for Kindred
our
than
stream
Silk
here.
right now.
This
Oh,
is something that I mentioned earlier that I have dubbed the Super Mega Battle Pass. I have a slideshow that I've prepared for you.
Oh, God.
Just to give you a little heads up. This is something that's really going to
What's the
take-
summer
slideshow
season
guy,
for
I
them?
can
it's going to
tell.
have an impact in October, but it's information you need now
course.
so that when October comes, you don't yell at us for not giving you that information. If we can pull up this slideshow. Excuse
It's
me,
just
this
like
is what
last year,
what I have
the,
called the Summer Triple Double Track.
Summoner
That's not the
thing
title.
they did,
I've
the
called
resort
it like
pass.
6 different things. If you write
Screenshot
into
of that.
support, they won't know what you're talking about. Summer Double Track is the term that you need.
Taking notes, I'm grabbing screenshots, I'm
Let's take a look
recording.
here. There will be a
clips.
double track event
I know.
starting July 21st. If you'll recall, we haven't had a double track for a minute here, but it's a
year.
gold track
No,
of free
hold on.
rewards for everybody, and then a platinum track for anyone who buys our double track.
Something stupid's coming, brace
So
yourself.
July 21st, it will start. It will involve 3 consecutive double tracks, which would end near October, and thus
2 weeks from
you
now.
need to know about this information now to get the most out of it.
So they're going to charge you 3
AKA
times.
triple double track.
Yeah.
That's a basketball reference for the 0.5% of you that understand it. You can acquire all the ones
It'll be
all
30
3 at once
bucks.
at a discounted price. And this is a quote from one of the people
Oh.
on the game team, and I said, "Are you
25
sure you
probably.
want to do that?" And they said, "Sure." And I was like, "Okay." This is the juiciest double track event we've done by a large margin. And I said, "You're cool with us saying
Oh, you
that?"
changed
And he
the
said, "Yeah."
economy.
It's
so you
July
had to.
sales.
Bold move.
This July
Yeah.
sales didn't make them
This
enough.
is a little peek at the Paragon level rewards on the gold track. Again, the free track that everyone has access to. Again, at Paragon level, 6-star platinum pool piece crystals will be on there. And on
Nobody
the platinum
cares.
track, you'll have that selector
Mhm.
as well. So again, if you'll recall, and you get the platinum track,
I think
you
that'll
actually
give
get
me a
both.
dupe on
So
him
you
finally.
could be
Mine's
well on
already-
your way towards a plat pool.
But it doesn't
I mean,
really
I'm
On
matter.
that
good
gold
awaken
track,
him.
there are Paragon crystals. And on the platinum track, there are also 7-star crystal shards.
That's
How
good.
many?
Additionally, you'll find your gold,
Yeah, I know.
consumables,
500.
rank up materials,
50 or
units,
500 is like,
and
wow.
more. It's always the and more.
500
that I'm
total over
excited
3
for.
months.
By completing a double track, you will receive a token. Up to 3 total.
Which you
Math.
can
That's how it works. 3
exchange
battle
for
passes,
a
3 tokens.
ticket.
Ready to go. You will be able to exchange your 3 tokens for one of October's
here it
champions
goes.
up to a 7-star. Now, we say one of October's champions. That's not
What?
your selection. That will be a dedicated October champion that you will receive. It's just we phrase it that way because that information will not be revealed today. But you can take a look.
Maybe
July
you can get a
21st,
7th
we'll have an
star from
in-game
it?
message that
Like
goes out.
within
the
I'm wondering if
Tuesday
it's a
of this
crystal.
double
It's like a
track event.
Paragon crystal, I bet.
And it's going to have all the
Guarantee
info
it.
that you need, and it will reveal what champion you will be working towards. This is how it's going to look. If you have all 3
That's
tokens
for the
and
money
you are
one you gotta pay
Thronebreaker
for.
or above, you're going to get that 7-star champion. If you have 3 tokens
you
and you
will
are
get a guaranteed
uncollected or
7-star
champion.
Cavalier, you're going to get a
You get those.
6-star.
Okay.
Maybe you want to push for Thronebreaker or
Okay.
Paragon right now. And then, of course, if you have 3 tokens below uncollected,
Hopefully it's a
you have
decent
that
one.
5-star
I
champ.
like his back
2
now.
tokens
Ah,
will get you
what?
4.
That's
1
awesome.
token will get you a 3-star champ. And that's how that's going to break out. This is a look. Again, it's October. It's
If they're
spooky
giving
month. It's
away
my
one free
favorite
7-star, I hope it's a good
ever
one.
in the year of all of the months. And this is what the token's going to look like. It's a bat because it's spooky month. So that's how that looks. It's spicy. So again, we
That looks like a
typically
stamp.
have like a little bit of a veil of like, hey, go and enjoy the game, as opposed to like look
Purpose
out
we
for
mustn't get
you know,
censored, yes.
purchases.
Wait,
and things
it's
like
not
that.
Morbius.
This is
It's
something that I think
Morbius.
is really, really cool.
It's
has a lot of
Morbius, I
value
bet.
for a lot of people,
Probably.
regardless of how you want to engage with it. So definitely be aware of that. July 21st, and we'll get all that information.
some other
and I'm
people
excited
like
July 21st for that
Morbius
reveal
too.
for what champion people are going to be working towards there.
Morbin time.
Cool. Let's move into our next segment. Let's keep this show going here.
Go.
It is my
Morbius.
absolute pleasure to welcome 2 upstanding gentlemen, upstanding citizens, incredibly talented, knowledgeable, and very impactful on the contest. Please say hello to Tyler
Kabam
and
is wearing
Harold.
pants at least.
Woo!
everyone. Thanks for having us.
Make some noise.
Finally,
Gang,
a
great to have you both,
confirmation.
and I'm so glad that you got the memo about the matching outfits.
No, Harold missed the memo.
Oh wow, they are
Not
matching.
wearing matching outfits.
Did I go change?
Yeah, please.
Now,
It's kind of funny.
Summoners, if you've been around for a little while, we've had a Inside the Contest video last year where we had both of these gentlemen here to talk about Battlegrounds for the first time. That was actually
Yep.
pretty soon after I joined the company, enjoyed the community management side here, and I loved the chemistry in that video. It was the segment that I had no hand in. It was Mike and you guys, but it was still my favorite segment in that video. So I said, I need
And
both
kid, I
of
think
you
the free 7-star,
here
you
at
have
the
to buy
same
the platinum
time.
track for 3
well, here we
months.
are.
So we made adjustments to the set, to the way everything's set up here, just to get you guys here. So thank you for being
Fantastic.
here.
Appreciate it.
So before we really dive into any of the nitty gritty, we'll go back and forth here. But Harold, walk us through what do you do here and why do you love working on MCOC?
Yeah, good question. So I'm a system designer here. So what we typically do is we work on game modes and game features. So you guys are familiar with AW, AQ.
What do you
we
do
work on
here, sir?
Battlegrounds, right? So that's kind of the work that we do here. Why do I love working here? Well, the fans are super passionate, right? Like
We
reading
need
chat,
to
like, I don't know.
need to cut
you
your
guys are super
job.
funny. We love making games for you guys to play. Yeah, so awesome working at Kabam. Love it here.
Yeah, you're getting shout outs on your shoes. People are recognizing game
there we go.
recognizing game, I
Thank
guess.
you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That was
Thank
fully
you.
intentional by this guy.
To your
Obviously.
point, particularly last stream, the chat was going off and making me laugh constantly. I was trying to talk to our guest, and I just look over and I was like,
It's so distracting.
Never
I don't know
mind,
how you
hold
do this. It's so distracting.
It's tough. Sometimes we have to hide the chat. Tyler, what do you do here, and
Learn to
why do
be a
you love
streamer
working
noob.
with Harold?
Oh. Well, I'm a producer on the contest team. The short and sweet of that is we kind of figure out what we're doing and why we're doing it, but ultimately we're just trying to push things forward and get cool stuff out to all of you guys.
Hey, Mr. Fario?
Why do I love working with Harold?
New
It's
champion
kinda- kinda our fates
showcases.
intertwined. We've been working together for a
side
long time.
events
Honestly,
and
Harold's
battle
just a
pass.
great collaborator, super innovative guy. Got a bunch of great design ideas, but
Only
honestly,
took
I like
33
working
minutes
with
for
him
them
just
to
as
do
much
all
as I
that.
like hanging outside the office, and that's a great part of the culture here at Kabam. Is we've got some really good people.
Yeah. So I see one of our mods calling it out. We will be doing
Yeah, we know, Seti.
some Q&A. We're going to be talking about a lot of Alliance Wars, Alliance Quest, incursions,
But
and
thank you.
Battlegrounds plans from now through to the fall.
And it's Monica
and if you
Rambeau's
guys
the
have any
white suit,
questions
by the way.
about those modes or anything that we don't cover, feel free to drop them in the chat. We have our mods taking a look. They're going to flip them to us, and we're going to hopefully address them towards the end. Now, we like to make this disclaimer anytime we talk about this type of thing. I think it's very, very important. For us to be able to look to the future with you all
is
and let you know what's coming
Green, though.
and what you can be excited for, there needs
Yeah.
to be this
Okay.
understanding and this leniency
It's
that
going to be the new
things
loading screen, I'm
change
guessing.
in a development cycle. We can talk about things that are 6 months from now because it's important that people know we're working on them and they should be excited for them. And they also need to have that in the back of their head that anything can change. And we will do our best to communicate when it changes, if it changes, and furthermore, ahead of time, how locked in things are as we discuss them, how likely they are to come to fruition as we discuss them, right? So please have that level of understanding and patience with us so that we can get really excited about what's coming to multiplayer stuff. Cool.
Okay, let's pay attention
I
now.
have made another slideshow. Let's take a look here. If we can pull that up, we can dive right in. I'm going to pull up your notes, gang, so that you have your things to work off of.
Yeah, where's my cheat sheet?
Yeah. We're not going to make you
Thank you.
memorize everything you wanted to discuss. So I titled this AWAQ Incursions and Battleground. What you got planned? And that's how I prefer that to be
Quite a bit, actually.
announced. You got
Quite a bit.
I
All
like
right.
that. I
Hopefully
like
it's something
that.
juicy.
Okay, let's
Come on,
dive in
guys.
real quick here. So we have
Finally, the
blocked these
4-day
off
AQ.
by time. If it has a month attached to it, we're relatively confident it'll land in that month.
Pretty confident.
Pretty confident.
Pretty confident.
And towards the end of the slideshow here, we have a slide that's titled Fall. So that's a little bit more
loyalty store
open,
too.
a little
I
bit
agree,
more,
Yeah.
still in the works,
Mainly
still trying
glory
to
stuff,
hammer
right?
out details.
Glory is
But
really
let's take a look at
outdated.
July, this month. What do we have coming? The feature previously known as Set and Forget, we are now calling,
The persistent placement phase.
Harold, you say it too,
Persistent placement phase.
Get out 3 times fast.
rolls off your tongue,
It's perfect.
right off the tongue.
Triple
Perfect.
P.
So persistent placement phase, Set and Forget, walk us through it here. Like what do people have to be excited about?
For sure. I mean, the short and sweet of Set and Forget ultimately is you're going to be able to place your defenders and they're
Not
going to
bad,
be
pathetic
saved to
god.
the board for the next war. So instead of having your officers or leaders chase down, defender placements and whatnot, you're going to be able to offer
And that's
those
cool and all.
placements
This
and
one
they're
kind
gonna
of
remain
new. There's
static,
no
until the
I
map
don't
changes or again you
Yeah,
want to switch up your
this
That's
is
what I
like
like
they
the
already
forecast
made an
about.
in-game
That's gonna be a
announcement.
huge quality of
Yeah,
life
they
wins
talked
for
about
players.
it
I'm
before.
really
They made an
excited to
in-game
get this
announcement
out.
yesterday.
Yeah, I'm seeing everybody quickly take to PPP and the triple P, and then I saw someone goes, it rolls like a box. I thought that was good.
I mean, boxes can kind of
If you like PP,
Oh
we
my
gave you an
goodness.
extra P.
Cool.
Sorry.
So that's something that we extended our off season. We actually took down Alliance War for a couple of weeks
Right.
just to make sure that this goes in and goes smoothly. I've seen a number of questions we've been engaging with in conversations with our content creators as well about how does the nitty gritty of these things work. That's information that we're going to make sure to have in the forums, posted for everyone to see kind of the breakdown of how does this thing flow, how do you operate, what's changed here.
Yeah, they had mentioned that,
and
Mr.
we're gonna
Friendly.
have
Hopefully
that
they
by
update
the
it.
time the mode comes back up in mid-July. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, keep an eye out for that. We'll get that for you basically the day we come back for the second half of our preseason here. I know that we talked a little bit off screen
Yeah,
here.
it won't
with
be
us.
bugged.
Why you
that
mentioned if they're not going to
It's
give any
going to
details
change a
about
little
this?
bit about how
I know.
the instincts that people have had ingrained in them from playing Alliance Wars. It does make some almost fundamental changes in an important way
Wizard says to check
that
line.
we think is going to cause a little bit of
Update
discomfort
probably
just
will be
because
Monday.
that's the nature
Yeah.
of change. But
Maybe
at the same
Tuesday.
time, in the long run, is really beneficial. Can you just walk us through that?
Yeah, so with the persistent placement phase, players are going to have an extended attack phase. So right now, the kind of order operation that players go through when it comes to Alliance War is you go into matchmaking. When you come out of matchmaking, you're in the placement phase, you author your defense, then you go into the attack phase, and you wrap up the war. Now this placement phase is going to be persistent, by the name. And it's going to be the thing that you're going to be doing now during your attack
Box
phase. The
confirmed
attack
for
phase is going to be
August the
extended
12th.
to a day and 20 hours,
Okay.
effectively almost
Nice.
doubling
Thank
its duration. So players
Well,
are going
I
to have
was
more
wrong.
time to go through the attack phase and strategize and plan, but it's also going to give them more time to also author their defense for the upcoming war. The caveat there is as it pertains to masteries. That's the big thing that a lot of people are talking about when it comes to this subject.
Yeah.
And those are going to lock in when a match is found versus currently when you actually place your defenders. So it's going to be a little bit of a growing pain. We realize that. But again, there's some huge positives to the system where players are no longer going to have to
Wait,
worry
what?
about their defense. But we fully recognize that this is something
This
we want to
defense
continue
placement.
to evaluate and look at
No,
and make sure that
masteries.
we understand the full impact of this as it rolls out. So it's not something
Well,
that we're
I think-
saying that we're just going to
I
leave
think
it
they're
as
gonna
is.
have where you can
Obviously,
do it
we'll
like
continue to
Battlegrounds,
evaluate
you
as
can
it
lock
goes
your
out, but there
masteries
will
for
be
it.
that
No.
subtle change.
They just said last masters look as much as
I think that's great. But now, if it's persistent defense and I place
Oh.
my champs
That
on defense,
sucks.
what are they just locked there
That's
forever?
stupid then, yeah.
No,
I thought,
so
the
we're
way they
actually
worded it
swapping
before,
out
I thought that's
champion
what they had said.
exclusivity. So your defenders, you're going to actually be able to bring them into other content now. It's been this long-standing point where players are like, man,
That's
but
really
I'd love
good.
to use, my Doom or whomever is locked on defense. I'd love to be able to jump into my story content right now, but I can't because they're on defense. So now, with the persistent placement phase, because defense is always going to be on the board, essentially, we're going to allow you to take that into content in war as well.
There you go. There you go.
Can you do that for AQ
Thank you.
also?
Okay, good. There's a timeout that needs to
Defense
happen.
masters
If
Don't be
block as
bad.
much
if you
time.
guys,
Don't screw it up.
I love these like excitement all caps, but if you just have something that you want addressed and throwing it in all
Yeah, they
caps
should let
doesn't
us
get
do
it
like
addressed any
Battlegrounds, set the
faster. I just want
masters.
that there. So you guys are doing great though. Keep it up. Okay, cool. Anything else that people need to know about PPP? Chat, can I see you just sound off with as many PPPs as we possibly can? Yeah, Tyler, anything else that they need to know?
Again, we're currently in the downtime right now. We've got this cool thing that's happening where we decided to take a bunch of the Alliance War season rewards and drop them into Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is also open to, what is it, Conqueror players right now instead of uncollected. So if you're a Conqueror player and you want to go try out Battlegrounds, jump in there. There's some extra rewards, again, that we pulled over from the Alliance War season. But we'll be coming back soon. And when Alliance War returns, we're going to have the persistent placement phase for players to check out.
For PPP, we have a question here from Mr. Knuckle Duster. Is the match found time going to be the same every day?
Good question. It's highly dependent on where you are in the rankings. So if you're a top tier alliance, you're going to be matched sooner than a bottom tier. Just the way that our matchmaking works is it's in a top-down fashion. So that is what's largely going to be affecting when you actually find your match. But in regards to anything else, no. If you were to stay in your alliance, the time would be pretty much static. It would be happening in the same time frame each day. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, because we can't have every single match happening at the same time. Matchmaking, it's just like overload
that'd
everything.
Be perfect if we could
break
do it
it
that
all.
fast, but not quite.
Break it all. All right, cool. Are we ready to move on to
Yeah,
August?
let's get Harold talking.
Harold's turn.
Move the fuck on.
We're doing Relics. They're going to Alliance War.
It's happening.
What's the change going to be? How is this going to impact players?
Yeah, so like everywhere else in the game, I think Alliance War is the only place in the game right now that relics aren't available yet. So we're going to finally unlock it. It's going to work the same as everywhere else. So only on attackers, defenders do not get relics because that would be a little bit crazy. We're still look into that. But yeah, you can bring your relics in on attack and use them.
Yeah. I think it's important to point out, we're aware of the persisting sentiment around relics. We know that there is a vocal group of the community that do not like relics. I think, especially with the amount of time they've been in the game, they have definitely taken a corner of being very useful and very powerful. So I think, you don't have to like everything. That's fine. If relics aren't for you, they're not for you. But I think you might be sleeping on some utility here.
This you?
So
This is me. Only.
we'll talk a little bit more about that when we give them away later in the stream. Cool. I think that's great. Like you said, they're available in every other element of the game. It's starting to become a routine for me when I'm playing, at least, to just know that relic is there, at least to extend the combo here. And then I look at some of our awesome content creators, guides on who I should be attaching to who, and go. So it makes sense
they
that kind
nerfed
of
all the
extends into
powerful
Alliance
relics.
War.
That's true.
For sure. Again, there's a huge
Yeah.
space of
Storm
strategy
and
that's in Alliance War, and we're really excited
Yeah.
to see how players
I'm doing okay,
again,
guys.
adapt that strategy now that they can take relics into the battlefield.
Awesome. All right, moving on. We also have Battlegrounds victory track seeding. We see a lot of conversation around Battlegrounds. It's one of my favorite modes. I think it's becoming a favorite mode of a lot of people as well. And because of that, it's under a spotlight. And people are always asking about matchmaking
For sure.
and the climb and rewards and all of these things. How is this going to fundamentally change how people play Battlegrounds?
Yeah, it's going to change it in a big way. I mean, as players have been experiencing for the better part of a year now, when you come back into Battlegrounds with the start of each season, you have to start at the bottom of Bronze 3. And again, for
That's
some
annoying as
players,
shit.
that might be closer to where they end up at the end of a season. But for some of our more competitive players, they're climbing all the way to the top to the Gladiator circuit every single season. And this causes a lot of friction.
I think if you made it last season, you should just start there.
Again, kind of mismatched just based on where they start their season. So what's going to happen with the Battlegrounds victory track seeding is we're actually going to slot players into the victory track based on where they ranked in the previous season. So some of that progress is actually going to carry forward, and it's going to seed you in that upcoming season. So we're really excited also for this one to see how it
should make
improves
better
the average
matchmaking,
match quality,
too, at the beginning of the
especially
season.
at the start of the season when, again, players are working through that initial ladder climb.
Okay,
so
just what I said.
Yeah, we're really excited to see this one go too.
Yeah, I think it's also worth noting the initial summoner reaction to kind of handling the situation on their own is they would start this season, and because everyone's at the bottom, their matchups can vary wildly.
Totally.
And some players with maybe a lesser developed roster, or people that really want to engage in the mode but aren't hyper competitive, they really struggle to find matchups that they enjoy. And I saw for a while people would be like, give it a week, don't play for a week. And we don't really want to hinder people enjoying this mode. So do you think that this is going to allow accessibility in an enjoyable fashion?
I mean, that is the truth,
for
though.
most
Yeah,
players?
if you want to just play casually, don't play for a week.
Going to improve
Yeah,
the
I mean,
first week.
This is a good thing overall.
ton of
the
players
seeding
that
thing,
come
like,
back to Battlegrounds.
every season
and
making
that
33
first
bucks
week or
and
so
making
is a real
points less
slog.
unnecessary and
So we
just cause
definitely
unnecessary
are
problems.
expecting a big change.
I just don't have the
there.
time.
Again, and just the
That's the
mismatches
problem.
that players are having.
And the
Because
thousand
for us,
leadership
we
is
want
something
players to be
there's no
on
need
equal footing as much as possible.
Well, yeah,
Obviously,
it
it's a
doesn't make
competitive
sense
space,
whenever
and there's things
Alliance
that are
were
very-
It's like
in
I
Alliance
finished
Quest,
in
yeah.
the previous
exercise all that
season. It's
stuff,
like, oh,
but,
this season
you know,
I'll be
again,
unable
it's
to get
important
out of
that players
victory
still
tracks.
feel
Like,
like
yeah,
they're on
right.
the playing field.
Everyone's asking about the rewards.
Of course, I want
Okay.
to pull in a question from our summoners. They're always right on it here. From Darkness 275, how will seeding and removing the climb affect people's rewards? You get
Where are
tokens
they
and
going?
marks during the climb. Will people who get seeded higher lose out
Pretty
/
much
have to
fun.
drop to get those rewards?
Where are they
Do you-
going?
Do you really think we would take away people's rewards? Are
Yeah.
we like that?
Yeah.
Is that our
Yep.
reputation?
I
Oh, yes,
do.
it is.
Okay. Anyway, so what's going to happen is if you get seated
You're right.
above like the starting ranks, you just have to play a few games in the season in order to collect all the rewards that you've kind of passed by.
So that's bulk rewards.
Yeah.
And they're Battlegrounds rewards,
Yeah.
which are some of the juiciest in the contest.
We're still
so-
figuring out how many matches you have to play, but again, after you have a little foothold of participation in that season, you will unlock the rewards that you would have otherwise missed out on by seeding.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I love that. That's one of my favorite changes. So that'll be with Season 10, Battlegrounds
Correct.
Season
Yes,
10,
that's right. Yeah.
which is also the qualifiers for the Battle Realm Brawl. Again, we are hosting a live, in-person, in Vancouver event to find the best Battlegrounds player in our contest. You will be using Season 10 to qualify. If you want any information about the meta, we've actually already posted that on playcontestofchampions.com/battlerealm-brawl. It'll allow you to prepare for Season 10. There are terms and
rolls off the tongue
conditions
there.
to qualify for the in-person event, so make sure to keep an eye out for those. But it's something that I am very excited for. Let's move along here. We've got Incursions Side Quest Volume 2. Now, much like we've discussed with the Rifts, we did the first set of Incursions as a side quest in March
That
this
was the
year,
worst side quest
and we
ever. It was
listened
the
to
only
feedback.
side quest
We
that I
know
can
there were
remember
pain
I
points.
didn't
We know
do.
people said it was a little bit more grindy.
You know what
than
the other
most
thing
of,
too is? I bet
the
you they
side
found
quests
that was the only
normally are.
time
We
majority
saw
of
people that really
players
enjoyed
played
it,
incursions and they stopped
experienced
playing immediately
incursions
after
for
it
the first
stopped.
time, but to get the same rewards
Yeah,
was
I
a
hated
lot
that
more
side of it.
effort,
Like,
and there was a handful of other frustrations as well. We listened.
You know, hey,
we took
this
that
may
into
be a hot
consideration.
take.
Wait,
I like
I want to hear what they're
How is
saying.
Incursions version 2 going to look as we go into August here?
Where to start?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot that we're going to be doing in Incursions for the side quest in August. So as Jack said, we learned a lot. Was a whole bunch of things that we got from obviously player feedback that we knew were pain points that were kind of long-standing within the mode, and we took a stab at addressing a bunch of those things. There's a few changes that I'm really excited about. I'd say that my top one, as someone who really enjoys the Incursions experience, is it's been insanely frustrating having to micromanage hacks all this time and to get a few zones in and have the one that I was planning on building around fall off. So moving forward with the August side quest for Incursions, we're going to be having permanent hack durations now. There will be a ceiling in which how many you can get, but this is going to allow summoners for the first time in Incursions to actually make a build. So again, once you get to that hack ceiling, you won't be able to come
That's
across
good.
any more choice nodes that will provide you hacks, but you'll be able to lock in that build for the whole run. So again, like if you're going in there with some sort of mutant team and you want to build some hacks for that, that's going to be persistent, and you can plan on that.
so much better.
So we're really excited to see how
Yep.
this shapes the Incursions experience, but there's some big things there that players are actually going to be able to plan around, and ultimately it's going to result in less micromanagement instead of just streamlining and getting back into the fighting.
That is good, and then if they make
I
it
love
less
it. And it
grindy,
seems like
then
you mentioned choice nodes. It seems like we're going to be varying how players engage with those directly as well.
there's some cool stuff there. Harold, why don't you give him a sneak peek on some of that stuff?
Yeah, so what we actually did was we're actually going to separate a lot of the choice nodes and make 6 individual nodes, right? So now we're going to have boss hacks, common hacks, boost hacks. So boost hacks would be like, it's a new node where you can actually choose like an attack, health, or a champion.
Oh, nice.
Right? And then we're going to have single and team heal revives as separate nodes. And then also obviously the champ swap node. So there's going to be a lot more variation, a lot more variety, a lot more choices. And then we're also going to have new layouts. Right?
Yeah, for the first time, we're no longer going to have the static layout in incursion. So as you climb zones, the map will actually change. You know, we're still exploring how
cool.
crazy we want to go with this. Right now, we're doing a bit of a lighter touch, but again, the map has been static in incursions forever, and now we're actually going to see it change the farther you get into the experience.
I think it's pretty cool. I like incursions, especially when we open it up to solo incursions. I think that was a big win. It's unfortunate that we launched a social mode as the world shut down and nobody could interact with each other. But I think it's going to be very, very cool. I like that
some
we're,
of this does sound better.
that
But again,
we're
a side
reiterating
quest,
on
if
things.
it's as
I
grindy as
think we
previous
see
one,
this
then
conversation
that.
occasionally where
But I hope it's
you know, side quests are more of the same, and it's getting lazy and
I just
repetitive.
hope the new
now, on the
maps
other side, we see we
doesn't,
do change things, and they're like, why don't
make
they just
more
do the same
nodes
thing?
all of a sudden,
But I
where you
think
can only
it's important
like
that
there's
we
3 paths and you can only
work
get 1
towards
node
something
down.
new, that we listen to feedback to really make the side quest, to make the battle realm what players are
I love their
able
chat.
to
Incursions
enjoy
are boring.
to enjoy. So. I
Master
like
is the point
incursions.
of
I think
Master is the
it's
point of
underrated
Master
for
is the
sure. Is there anything
Yeah,
else
I
we need
saw
to know
that.
before we roll into
I don't
September here?
want to spoil too much stuff, but there's one other change that is really cool that I'll call out here, is that we added in some relic bonuses the last time around in the incursion side quest in March, because we know how much everyone loves relics. But these ones are pretty cool. Again, this was just an added
Everyone
bonus
loves
simply
relics.
if you had a relic equipped.
You
onto
shut
the
your dirty
champion that
mouth!
The hack was targeting. So we're going to give those bonus abilities across all boss hacks now. So it's not just going to be for those ones that we added for the March side quest. We went back and we added a relic counterpart to all of the boss hacks.
Yeah, and from my understanding, it's the hacks that we found were less used that we added a little bit more of a juicy.
Yeah, so
juicy relic
we
perk.
looked at which hacks players have been basically targeting over the past couple of years, and we decided the ones that were a little on the underwhelming side to give them some extra love.
Sounds great. I just wanted to call out, and Docker maybe says, I'm eating Cocoa Pebbles. And that made me laugh in the middle of your explanation. I apologize for being disruptive, but I really enjoyed that. All right, let's roll into September here. Tangentially related, directly related.
Jesus, now we're in
incursion side
September,
quests.
nothing really that
we have
great.
these really, really cool new changes planned, and then we roll into September.
There is more. There is more incursion stuff.
There's more incursion stuff.
But
So
yeah.
we're going to carry over a number of the most impactful changes?
Yeah, so this is something that we're still evaluating. I'll let Harold speak to it a little bit, but basically the short and sweet of it is, we've got a ton of cool stuff that, there's some things that we're still going to be revealing for the August side quest that we want to make permanent additions. Again, we see value in these things, as Jack said. We've been listening to feedback and whatnot. And again, we're going to put these things out, but we fully plan to evaluate them, and if we're happy with them, they're going to be permanent additions to the incursions moving forward. So that's kind of what this one is penciling in here.
Thanks.
Love that. Anything else?
We should also mention that we're going to make changes to the side quest event for the incursions. I think we missed that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So not just inside the core mode experience, but we're also going to be doing a lot of things to the actual event structure. So the objectives that players had, the solo events, the store counterparts and whatnot, there's going to be a big improvement there. Again, we heard a lot of feedback around just how much time it took to get their top zone milestones and do all the objectives and things like that. So yeah, we've made a bunch of adjustments to the event setup as well.
Incursion
Awesome.
store
A
still
lot to
garbage?
look forward
As
to.
of right now, it is.
Are we ready to move on to our next one?
Anything about that?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, they really need to
I
increase
have
that.
jittery hands, and
really need
therefore
to
I
talk
already
about
skipped
the
ahead to
story,
it.
man.
So
Caught that.
if you
And
saw
the
it,
words rebound.
a new Alliance War map. What does that look like?
Man, they're
How can you
focusing on the
change
shit no one
something
cares
so
about.
fundamental?
I mean, all of this
Right,
stuff is
so,
good, but none of that
We've been
stuff
doing this
matters.
with
The
our
rewards
other
are shit.
modes already. Things
That's
like in
that's what I mean. No one cares about this
where
stuff if
I
you
mean,
don't do.
we all
removing a
care
bunch of
about it.
those
It's
link
just
nodes, those
I
bottlenecks
know.
for players, right? We understand that
You know what I meant.
not everybody can play, together or coordinated throughout the entirety of a day. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and remove a lot of those bottlenecks in the middle of the map and then move them towards the end. So effectively what will happen is that when you're playing AW, you want to go in and do your path. You can do that, at your leisure. You're not going to stop anyone from progressing. So it's going to be a huge quality of life update for people. Beyond that, I believe we're also making changes to, just in general, a lot of the nodes on the map. And another big change that we're looking to make is we're going to be, right now there's 55 defender placement nodes, right? So there's going to be 5 extra that people never use. And to us, we were thinking it would give agency to players where they decide how they want to customize their defense. They don't do that. Just take those 5 nodes and never place. So we're going to remove those. We're just going to have 50.
Which are the worst ones, and then
Exactly,
split
just
them
never
aside.
use them. So instead of doing that, we're just going to do 50 nodes moving forward.
exactly. These changes are
I
good.
like
they
it.
are
I think
important.
it's
They
a
are
meaningful
somewhat
change.
interesting.
I
But
would be
none of it
lying
matters
if I
is the
said I
rewards cannot
understood
keep up
the
with
brain of
their
someone who
selling
plays
in
Alliance
July
War
on
at a
Christmas
high
stuff.
level. I see when things go wrong in Alliance Wars, and I'm watching
this
the
is
forums
back on
or
this thing
having
with
this
me on
conversation in the forums. I
This
have
is-
to ask multiple people
this is what
for
makes no
clarity
sense,
on
though.
what's going on at these high levels and why
Alliance
it's
Quest,
impactful.
they announced 4 days.
Honestly, like,
They're in
it's
September. They still haven't said it's
a
starting.
game it's a game mode
The 4
that's
day.
honestly some of my favorite mentality in game design, where it's easy to pick up, difficult to master. Like, you can pick up and play and enjoy it, sure, but to get at the highest level, the level of like knowledge and strategy and planning is exceptional, and I kind of love that.
Yeah, no, this is
Are we ready to move
frustrating
on
at
to
this
the
point.
next
They're
one?
talking up
let's
until
do it.
September.
Another
and
sneaky peeky that probably made no sense to anybody.
the most urgent
was
thing
the
is quite literally the
Alliance
rewards revamp right now
Super
because of
Season.
the
Super
sales.
season.
No context here.
Nope.
I'll just leave it to you.
It's super.
It's super duper.
We're leaving it there. No. The Alliance Super Season is going to be a big month-long event in September where we're going to be trying to incentivize players to join alliances. So there's going to be a bunch of objectives that are going to be focused on bringing players into alliances. There's going to be a solo and an alliance event that's going to be targeting primarily our alliance game mode, so Alliance Quest and Alliance War, but also Battlegrounds and Incursions. So we've got some big event structures that we're going to be planning on rolling out there for September, and ultimately this is going to result in just more stuff for players to acquire from these game modes.
I like that it's incentivizing and it's carrot not stick, but it sounds like for the people who are already engaged
You're
in
just
these
getting
alliance
more
modes,
stuff.
you're just getting stuff
Yeah.
for doing what you're already doing. And then, if you're hesitant to engage in the social aspect of the game or this teamwork aspect of the game, it sounds like it's a great time for you to hop in and test the waters.
For sure. And this isn't just for those super engaged folks. We're doing things for the casual player that may have not joined
It
an
does
alliance
spell
before, or
ass,
it's been a
Alliance
while
Super
since they've
Season.
been in one.
I
They
mean,
get to jump
it's
back
fine,
in
just
there.
like
and
what-
there's gonna be
again,
some
this
things
stuff
for them
is
to
not
tap into,
bad.
even
It's good,
outside of
but
the game modes.
that's not what we
wait.
want to
We would
hear
love
about
players
right
to
now.
jump in and play Alliance War
No,
and
take
Quest.
the first
We've got
letter
some
of each
things
one,
we're gonna be
Alliance
doing
Super
in
Season.
The Alliance
Oh.
system side as well. We're going to have
That's what I was
a
saying.
miniature
Yeah.
gifting
That's what
event
people in the
that's gonna be
chat were
focusing
saying,
on,
too. It's
again, just getting
hilarious.
players into alliances, as well as a unique.
No,
alliance
I agree
element.
with what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I like it. I like
That
it
was
a lot.
funny.
I think for me, in
Let's
my
talk about
journey of
ass.
playing any video game, it's always the social aspect that
We're gonna
creates
have
the
super
most
ass.
meaningful memories and keeps me coming back to things. I
September.
think
Yeah,
alliances have a lot
whoever
to
did that
offer
definitely
for
knew what they were
anyone
doing.
who's really engaging. We have fantastic stories of players who have created these really meaningful friendships and relationships with people in their alliances. A great example is we gave away hard copy issues of our comic, and we could only ship them to North America. So we
Looks
had
like
people
the
that
house is
won that
burning,
lived
but look at
abroad,
the
and they're like,
new
hey,
you
can
got.
you just
Pretty
actually
much.
give it to my alliance member, and here's their address, ship it to them instead. And I think that's so cool. I'm really looking forward to this one in September. Anything else we need to know before we move in?
Nope. I
Two.
think we're good to go. There's gonna be again more details on all of these things soon, so we don't want to spoil everything.
Absolutely. This is just giving you guys the brief
You don't want to
overview of
spoil
all of
it.
these things. We might have to change how we
Not a lot.
the name for Alliance Super
I
Season.
really did not say a lot.
Alliance Super Duper Season.
You
Super
should sit next
D-duper.
to them. Oh, I would
Perfect.
I
love
think
that.
they finally figured
Run
it
with the
out.
marketing
Run
team.
with it.
All right, so now we go into fall, which is a little bit more vague or ambiguous. Again, these are the types of things that we're really still working on the details of, but this is the general timeline for these things, right? So let's take a look. First and foremost, I think one of the most interesting, most common conversation points that we see in the community is going to be our Alliance Quest setup.
Jesus Christ,
version
gotta wait till
2.
fall?
Now, we talked about this back in March. At that point in time, we said, hey, this is something that we want to bring to the contest.
Yeah, exactly.
We're hearing this feedback. It's not going to be an easy
It's
change,
good to give us the
but it's
early
something that
teases,
we're
but not
going
if
to
it's
be
like...
doing. Walk
It's
us
taken
through
9
that
months for them to
journey.
do it.
Like, this is a big change.
It's gonna take, like,
This is something that people are
6 to
really
9
excited
months
for, that they
them
really
to
want.
do.
There's clearly
Yeah.
pressure there.
Fucking assholes.
How are we going about implementing this?
Without completely trying to break down game development or feature development, the big thing for us is to make sure that we're building the right things for players. Issues like this that players have been expressing around Alliance Quest,
This
and
is
the friction that it
frustrating.
introduces,
I'm gonna tell you that.
and just when they
Listening
want
to
to
all
have
of these
sessions,
things and then
it's
just
pretty great. With
having-
this
this
current
is
cycle that we have,
frustrating.
the 5 and 3 off,
Like,
there's some things that
the
again,
entire
that
community
it's
pretty
hard
much
for players
only
to
cares about,
time
like,
and schedule
the
their
game
lives
economy
around.
right
So we want to be able to
Correct.
give players that player choice and
They're just
agency to make
ignoring
those
it all
selections
and just
themselves.
talking
So that's something that's really important to us, and make sure
Because
that
if
we
they-
do
Have
that
that
right.
secondary to
ultimately.
everybody.
So as you said back in
If
March,
they're
we
putting
were,
their
again,
hands
kind
over
of
their
laying
eyes and
the
ears and saying,
foundation
"I
for
can't
this
hear or
feature,
see you."
and making sure that again it was going to hit those goals and those problem spaces that players had helped us identify. So that's like really the big thing for us. And now we're executing. on
Word
that.
soup
We're
is
in the
all this
process of
is.
building it.
You're
So
right, BK.
That's why it's fall right now.
Very
Is that it's coming, and that it's currently in development.
Perfect. Shout out to
Yes,
Snabble in chat saying, what's fall for non-Americans? Thank you for pointing that out. Completely blanked that seasons around the world change. We're looking like October, November time frame is usually fall. When the leaves change color and everyone puts on spooky costumes in October, my favorite month of the
Jax wears
the
extra
year.
flannel.
Unless you're in Australia.
So many extra flannels. You guys have no idea. I go double flannel when the weather's right. So again, people are excited about this feature. I think reasonably so. Again, learning and listening and hearing everything that people have to say. I'm glad. This is something
You're right,
that it seems
Google.
like we're trying to give the agency and the opportunity for planning to be customizable per alliance, and I think people are going to love that. Okay. Then we have an Alliance Quest new season. Is that different?
So the words
Or did I
IQ,
just
the words
repeat the
update
same
is
thing
in fall?
twice?
It's
Is that
a
what you're
new
telling me?
season.
Yeah, that's what it
it's
sounds
been a while
like.
since we, admittedly so, it's been a while since we've updated Alliance Quest. We've had, as you've seen in this
No
presentation,
shit.
we've got a whole bunch of things that we've been working on. We've really been prioritizing a bunch of these quality of life improvements. So things ranging from, again, the persistent placement phase, what we've been doing in the incursion side quest, the Alliance Quest setup feature, the victory track seating. So we've had our hands full, but we are committing to updating Alliance Quest in the fall. So we're going to have a big new piece of seasonal content there.
Sounds good. And
next
then
thing,
Battleground
you need to
Brawl is
be prepared.
happening in October. October 20th and 21st will be a live in-person event that will also be live streamed here on twitch.tv/Kabam. If you've not checked it out already, go to
That's true, they didn't say fall this year.
Battleground-Brawl, and you will have all the information you need about this tournament, including the meta for Season 10, our qualifying season. There will be additional terms and conditions to come, so take a look. Keep an eye out for those, and we're going to be making sure that we bring some of the best contestants in the contest to Vancouver. We're going to be flying out the top 8 qualifying contestants. Perfect. And we're going to have a big event. We're going to have a 2-day competition. We're also going to pair that. If you are someone who is not super competitive but loves the contest and wants to be a part of this, we're going to have a live in-studio audience, and we're going to be doing a Summoner Summit, essentially. We're going to have a day where we bring everyone together to show sneak peeks. We're going to be showing
might be like the fall was never intended of this year.
In the near future. We're going to be celebrating the contest in general. It's going to be very fun. I'll be there. We'll have other people there as well. Vancouver is a city in Canada, as is pointed out in the chat there. Perfect. I'm really excited for that. And then I think our last slide here, as we talk through this, is game mode economy. The entire time we're talking, we have people saying, update Glory Store. When can I get more blank? When are we changing blank? So we put a whole dedicated slide. We knew. So
wow, one slide, thank you.
We're looking at most of it?
Most of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Most of it.
What are we looking at?
Is that a question?
Okay, well, so when we released a new mode like Battlegrounds, we kind of had like a new store and everything. We juiced those rewards up a lot, right? So obviously now seems to be a little bit unbalanced between certain game modes, right? So what we're going to be looking at is updating the AQ, so Glory Store and AW Loyalty Store stuff, as we make these other updates to the game modes, right? So when you see like an AW map update, things like that, you should expect to also see game mode economy updates and reward updates as well.
Yeah, and
That's
this
fucking too
this slide
late.
is independent of the timeline, right?
Yeah.
So we looked through each month, and we looked at fall. This is not specifically chronologically later than those.
Correct.
This will be dispersed throughout those previously
Correct,
mentioned
that's
months.
right, yeah.
Actually, some of it
Better be.
much sooner than you might
Yeah.
expect.
Definitely. Like again, we had months of content and features that's going to be coming out. Again, as Jack said, we really want to emphasize that this is independent of those initiatives. We hear your comments. We recognize that it's been a while since we've touched a number of these, whether it be the store economies or the seasonal structures and whatnot. So these are going to be things that we're going to be emphasizing throughout the summer. So as we're releasing these content, as we're releasing these features, a big focus of ours is going to be going back and looking at these game mode economies.
Yeah, so it's something, I mean, we're always evaluating the game economies, the stores, these types of things for the different
Always.
currencies
It's been like
and all of
years
that.
since I
It's
didn't see the Glory
always
stuff.
being evaluated, but this is when we're going to start to see some changes in the
think it's
coming
been a
months
year.
here.
For sure.
We're
At the very
intentionally
Well, they did a
not
slight
giving
change, but it
timelines as we
wasn't-
discuss these
it
things
wasn't
can
major.
change, but from my understanding is we are relatively locked, and we'll have more information about
Yeah,
that soon.
and
Oh,
part
great.
of not having
This
firm
is
timelines
this
we
is
wanna
exactly
get
the
these
information
things
I
as
was
soon as
looking
possible
for.
to you.
That they
We
managed to send
And they-
basically nothing
the
about in
feedback
3
that players have
minutes.
said, and
out
again,
of-
we
Yep.
see the value in doing this. So it's something that is
How long
is
the stream
near
has
top
been
of our
going? Out of
priority
like
list right now.
1 hour stream.
I did have a conversation with previous guest of the stream, John, who's responsible for a handful of these things. And I said, are we confident that these are locked on the timeline that I've seen? And he said, they might actually be coming sooner. So that honestly is part of the reason we're not giving you the timeline is
Sooner
we
should be
might
next
actually be bringing
week,
them sooner
latest.
Yeah,
than
we want to get
initially
these
planned.
things out.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else that you guys want to tell us about what's coming in the
Note
contest?
next to here.
Literally
Meh.
anything.
Literally anything. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be coming out these next few months, that's for sure.
Stuff and things! Perfect. So that is everything. Not everything. That is a lot of things that you guys have to look forward to in Alliance War, Alliance Quest Incursions, and Battlegrounds. We know that you guys are going to have questions about other things coming to the contest and other game modes and things like that. That's the focus of this stream. We will have conversations about those things another time, certainly. Cool.
Oh,
Let's
Marcus,
roll
it was over.
into
We did a
something
good
that I've
job.
really been enjoying talking about, which is Gladiator. Gladiator won our Summoner's Choice 2023
Do you guys want me to
campaign.
stick
Who did
around
you
for
guys
the
vote
Gladiators thing?
Gladiator.
Spider-Punk.
I think you should
Great
stick around for
answer.
Gladiator,
Perfect
but then
answer.
after that,
I mean,
probably
come on, you
dip.
could have been hitting people with a guitar. Like, who didn't want to see that? I mean,
We've talked about it on these streams, and I've
Because if I
borderline
don't go
yelled
soon,
about it
I'm not
on
gonna be
these
releasing
streams. But we
videos
got
today.
Gladiator. Gladiator is going to be very, very
Well,
cool. I'm just sad about Spider-Punk. Gladiator is going to be awesome. Last stream, we took a look, our first look at Gladiator, and we saw his finished model in rotation. I went back to the art team, said, this looks excellent. Can we show people like a work in progress here? Can we show like even scale it back even more and what it looks like to get it there? So they gave me a couple of clips of working with different variety of pieces of software and what that looks like. They actually took some of my suggestions and I created this little clip here and we can take a look at it together. So this is classic T-pose, the most classic.
look at that physique.
Very nice.
Look at him. I said that I'd make the. And
I
have to
never
explain
liked
it as a
like
joke
from what
now,
I have
but I
heard
said
about
that we would tell
Gladiator,
everyone
he's
that we modeled the upper body
consistently
off of him.
validation
It was very
seeking,
bad. We did.
emotionally
See if you can tell what
capable,
part I contributed to this slideshow
attention-seeking
or
man
to this
baby.
video.
He needs a
Ooh, I like that one
So
better.
that's actually where
Psychological help
Gladiator
and
started.
heavy
Most people
medication.
don't know that. Most people
Holy
don't
shit.
know that. And then we roll into like the wire framing.
It's good
My
concept
computer
art.
just freaked out.
Yep. If the
What's
big
happening
version,
I don't know,
was
it
modeled
kicked
off
me out of
Carol, the
everything and
skinny
changed my
stick version
resolution.
was modeled off of me. And then we've got
back,
the
though.
biceps here. All jokes aside, I think it's very, very cool seeing the work in progress here in the wireframe and how they actually model
Looks
and
like you under.
adjust.
Artists do an amazing job. for
So
sure.
good.
Absolutely
This
crush it.
is borderline nightmare fuel on the right side of the screen here. But we can see all of like the really specific details as we zoom in on the left side here. Tyler, what's this
Like
called?
Yonder
again?
and Doctor Strange had a baby.
Textures, render maps looks like what we're looking at here.
Texture
Yeah.
renders map. Like as we get close, you'll never see this in game, but look how absolutely detailed this is. Unbelievable.
Look at all
I
the
just
shit
saw
you'll
someone
never
in
be
the
able to see
chat
again
say
because
it's time for the forums update. So give me a second here. You guys talk about this.
Oh, we're doing this live, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing it live.
Oh,
It happens live.
going down the calf.
Oh yeah, just
Checking
go
out-
play by play. Oh, Mike already did it from off screen. Absolutely
guy.
coming in clutch. We love to see it. Awesome. So that's Gladiator's second look, and he looks very, very cool. We said this before while the vote was happening, that people,
I don't like his
some
face.
people
First
had
1-0.
conversations around voting for who they thought would be most powerful, but historically, Summoner's Choice winners are made to be very cool, regardless. So I'm excited to see what they come up with for
Captain
Gladiator.
Planet.
Again, the way that we're kind of going incrementally and showcasing these things. Next month in August 4th is our next live stream. We'll be likely taking a look at his animations and the special effects and things, followed up by September, his release month. We'll sit down with the champ designer and go through his kit and talk about that whole process. So I'm very, very
cool.
excited.
Very
I
cool.
think he's already very cool looking, and I'm
Yeah,
just
look at him.
stoked. Stoked to have him in the game. All right, cool. Let's move on here to 20 questions. I'm
Okay,
really
that's
excited for this
easily
segment.
20 questions,
I
my
told
ass.
Tyler
Yeah,
and Harold
20
that
questions
there's
out.
Ain't
a
no
hot
way
seat
in
here.
hell I'm going to be putting
And
myself
this
or
game
you
is
guys
very
through.
simple. If you've never played 20 questions in any
No.
way, this is
20
Champions 20
questions.
questions. So I
If you
pick a
guys want to go
champion,
and watch 20 questions,
and I'm going to pull up the information.
you
so
are
I'll have a
welcome.
cheat
That's
sheet.
a direct link.
But basically,
For some reason.
Oh, no.
you can ask yes or no
thank you,
questions.
Adam.
Tyler
you.
and Harold
Web's
are
not
going to play
working.
here, but you
That's
guys
weird.
can ask those same questions in the chat.
Yeah, please do. We need help. Yep.
Provide some context. We are going to try to guess which champion. We're going to, so again, this is yes or no questions. It is do or die, which means you have one guess. If you don't get it, you lose.
Definitely make a good guess.
I need to go over,
And you
take a
no,
quick break,
no questions
and
about
start
the
making
name.
a couple of videos.
So if you're like,
I hope
oh,
you guys
does it
enjoyed the
start
stream.
with
Let's
a
say huge thank you
C?
to Mando.
Let's do it.
Don't do that.
And
Don't do that.
yeah,
Mike,
I will
can
be
you throw
uploading
me
a
my
couple of
phone
videos
so I
for
can pull
sure
up a
today
cheat
and
sheet
tomorrow.
that isn't,
And
it's to your
Cool.
right.
yeah.
Mike's here to
I'll
help.
catch
He's
you
going to
guys
yell
soon.
questions
Bye.
in from the outside. Yeah,
Later.
throw it to me.
Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information